Hello and welcome to Rony's Tuesday Funrace 2021, the 18th round and the 262nd ever Rony's Tuesday Funrace. Broadcast by Sim Broadcast on Twitch and YouTube tonight. We are at Aston Grand Touring with the UFGTR. I'm Peter Butcher and I'm joined in the commentary box by none other than Eoin Harmon.
Good evening, Pete, and welcome along, viewers, for this fine way to conclude the month of August.
Yeah, unbelievable. August is already over. And if you live in the UK, that means summer is done, pretty much. So let's have a look at what we've got in store today. We are, as I mentioned, at the fabled track of Aston for the 262nd edition. Next time out in 2 weeks, we'll be driving the XRG, the rear-wheel drive demo car, around an interesting layout, Owen, at Autocross. So it's only got, I think it's 3 or 4 corners on it. So that's going to be an interesting one. Especially with the size of grids that we end up with in Rony's Tuesday Funrace. But anyway, back to tonight's action. We can look forward to that in 2 weeks. We have, the longest track, one of the longest tracks in Live for Speed for our enjoyment this evening. It is Aston Grand Touring. It is 8 kilometres in length, 5 miles. And we have 60 minutes of qualification which are underway as we speak, and we'll have an 11 lap race at 10 past the hour, so plenty to look forward to. Owen, do you want to get us up to speed with who is currently leading the way in the 8 minutes or so of qualifying we have left?
I can indeed, but let's just confirm there is a pseudonym here. It's Gabor fan number 1, also known as Excellent, grabbing the pole position there ahead of Ricardo and Fragmaster's fat ass in P3. So not much to separate these UF1s at the moment, or UF4, excuse me. Yeah, there's barely anything, half a second at most for the top 3, and this 2-minute 52 lap. And we're looking at True Alpha here, 7th place, so very high standard, has to be said, Pete.
Yeah, that's Vitalis Lugutskas at the top of the charts, Gabor fan number 1. Rick Cardle, P2, Fatal Unfair in third there. Then it's Owner and Iron Donny placing very nicely there in 4th and 5th. Can Unite and Yoni running P7, we're watching him right now, can they improve towards the end of this session? You'd expect so, but anything can happen. We will keep an eye on this as the session develops. But anyway, let's take a look at the car everybody's using here. The UFR 1.4 litre inline front engined front wheel drive car with 180 brake horsepower, weighing in at 600 kilograms. So it's very light, very powerful, and it is entertaining over the curbs around Aston, Owen.
Yeah, that's true. But one thing that I have spotted in qualifying is the final chicane that was turn 20 on our map from earlier. That can cause the car to pitch immediately onto its roof. So we have potential lap times being spoiled as cars not only flip with the driver behind, but also getting in the way with the tires or even the car itself. So with these 5 minutes 58 seconds to go, we have to be very, very careful with those curbs, or else lap times will not be representative.
Absolutely. And as we hit the 5 minute mark almost, I think Yoni's going to cross the line just as we hit 5 to go. No change at the front, but like I said, these guys have been running around for the best part of an hour already. Names that are inside the top 10 who are doing good work: Yaroslav Donalik, Yari Katila, and Patrick Hall, Race Green Falcon there in P10. So yeah, some good pace as we see Yoni going through that final chicane that Owen was mentioning just before. No issues, looks perfectly fine. Let's see what Yoni can manage on this lap. Across the line he goes, and no improvement in position, so potentially doing race laps. Some of the drivers do like to spend the last few minutes of qualifying just fine-tuning their race setup. In the shorter format of RTFR, of course we are on that format today, there isn't as much time to climb through the field, Owen, so qualifying way more important here than in, let's say, an XL event.
Yeah, that's absolutely the case, and if you're in the mid-pack, there are always going to be drivers who want to battle the way through in the first few corners, and you could get caught up in an accident or anything like that. So yeah, I think qualifying really should be the priority for anybody dreaming of getting onto the podium.
Yep, so far it is Lugutskas who leads the way. He is 4/10 clear of our championship leader, Rick Cardle. Yeah, I think we can take a look at the standings right now and see where everybody sits. We're having some problems loading the driver championship. We'll look at the teams championship then. Team Sidus leading the way with 850 points ahead of Race Green's effort with 412. So that's quite a void there, Owen, between the top two teams now. Of course, this is where the majority of the prize money goes in the Rony's Tuesday Fun Race series. Born to Race in third place. Good margin there to World Class Lions in fourth, but yep, we've still got a bunch of races left this season. Then we've got Master Race Car in P5, Sim Broadcasts sitting in P6. Bit of a gap to Master Race Car for the SBTV team, but Fragmaster in P7, gaining on SBTV, only 5 points gap there. Father and Sons with 36, Zafaralis with 30, Alma Course with 5, and Fortunato Racing Team still with 1 point on the board. We'll try and bring you the update for the Drivers' Championship before the start of the race. But anyway, back to qualifying. 3 minutes to go.
Yeah, drivers need to get on track. Basically, already they should be there now, or else time is definitely going to expire on them. So this is do or die for some of these drivers. Sidus Unite with championship ambitions really needs a top 5, really to give himself the best chance. We'll see how he gets on with the final complex corners coming up now.
Yeah, Unite's going to have to... Oh, as he rolls up onto 2 wheels, and that's going to be contact with the tyres, and that won't be an improvement. He's going to get in the way of this world-class Lines car.
Yeah, it's True Alpha as well.
Yeah, so Yoni heading to the line. Will it be an improvement for Yoni on this attempt? Yes, it will. P5. So there we are. That mistake from Unite potentially cost him a higher starting position because Yoni has gone up to P5. Yeah, not what we want to be seeing from Unite with only a few minutes to go before the race. He does pull it out in the race sometimes. Of course, we've seen him dicing pretty well with his teammate Rick, but he's six places behind him now as we watch Lorenzo climbing up the hill up to the final sector of the lap. This is really good fun in the tin top cars in Live for Speed. It's a really nice undulating flowing section. It's a genius piece of track design, if I'm honest, as they head up this little compression around the long left-hander here under the bridge and onto this back straight before the final hairpin. Yeah, Lorenzo's done a really nice job in some of the rounds in RTFR when his connection has held up. But today, 26, so he'll be hoping, Owen, to improve in this final stage of qualifying.
That's right. He would be safely into the race, even if we had the 40 drivers plus threshold. I'd be very confident that he'd make it through, but his own goals would definitely not be 26th or that kind of range. He'll want to be in the top 15, maybe top 20, and he needs another second and a bit in order to make it. So can you do it?
Yeah, Pedro BR will get another lap on the board, 40 seconds to go. Here's Fatal. He's currently P3, so he doesn't necessarily need to improve unless he wants to go for that pole. He's only a tenth of a second behind Rick as the tyres were moved from there, so a little bit of a breathing room for him through the final corner. He's going to the middle of the road, so he must think this is a decent lap. Let's see what he gets as he comes across start-finish. It is no improvement for him.
That's unfortunate. Ludwig is 36th and last at the moment, but that is enough to proceed into the race. We'll see his default blue UF4 trundling along. Hopefully he'll be able to gain positions. It'd be great to see him break into the 2 minutes 59 if at all possible. And
Lorenzo
now very own SBTV's kid here in a Holden.
Yeah, he's driving a Holden. In P15, Lorenzo speared into the barrier after the first chicane just there. He didn't improve. He's P26, and that will be his starting position, so not a good start to this round for him. Yoni up to P5, but we need to see in this final lap that he's going to get whether he can improve any further. He is almost a second behind Gabor fan number 1, Vitatas Lagutskas. Here he comes up to the line, Owen.
This is the big run now. It's 2 minutes 53, 2.6. No, so close, but not enough.
Yeah, unfortunately not enough for Yoni. And as we see Redbot coming across the line, narrowly avoiding the tyre as well. In fact, I think there was contact just with the tyres at the final chicane. Here he comes up to the line. P25 will he improve? 2:55.1 is best, and it is an improvement, quite a sizable one as well. Almost a second off his time, and he goes up to P18. So good effort there by the race green driver.
I'm looking at Teemu Soini literally on the brink of setting a lap time, but not an improvement, unfortunately. But he'll be very happy with 11th place as it stands.
Yeah, a few drivers still crossing the line on hot laps. It is a long lap here, Owen. We say this a lot, but it's 2 minutes 50, even in the UFR. That is a lot of time. So we'll have a little bit of a wait before we get the final cars across the line to end this session. A lot of the drivers here are in the pit lane. Just they've done all their driving, and they are happy to just sit and wait for the the timer to count down. And then we will see who is our final pole position driver.
Yeah, so that's an improvement. 2 minutes 54.5 into 21st.
Yeah, 21st place for the Last Lap Motorsports driver. He would have hoped for more. But yes, it does look like we're going to have 36 starters for this race, unless anybody joins at the last minute. That is a wrap on qualifying. So yeah, let's go ahead and talk through the final results then. On pole position, it will be excellent, which is Vital's Gutsgas or Gabor fan number 1 today, a 2 minute 52.23, so a good lap time there. Then it'll be Fatal in P2, just pipping Rick Cardle at the end. Rick will have to start in P3 on the second row, just 0.02 of a second there off of the Fragmaster driver's time. Then it's Ona in P4, Yoni Katila in P5, Iron Donny P6, Unite P7, Yaroslav Donolik P8, Race Green's Falcon in P9, All Class Lions Yari Katila in P10, Timi Soini P11, Twin Cam 12th, Onifus 13th, Mandula 14th, Kid in 15th, Michael Malik 16th, Thamuli in 17th, Redbot 18th, and Motti Macari and Magic round out the top 20. Owen, do you want to read through the second page results?
Can, of course. Let's have a look. And it's 21st position to LLM Sobis, narrowly ahead of Fragmaster number there. Then we have Igor Tahanberg, Forexter, Lorenzo Jamin, Haichi Roku, ZFRL's Deboy or Debal Racer. And then 30th place, it's Pedro Bior. And the final column, we have Rony, Pit Lane Racer, Ivanov, LG Mies, Olivier, and Ludwig, completing the last page there.
Yeah, a very healthy grid for this long track, so that's going to be good. Hopefully no dramas on the start finish, although if you remember back to the MRC GTR Monday round that we covered here not so long ago, there was a little bit of carnage on the home straight on the first lap, and as far as I'm aware, Iron Donny was involved in that one, and he's here today, and I'm sure in P6 at the moment, as he's going to start this race, he does not want to get involved in any tangles. We're going to head for a short break, probably 3 or so minutes. The start of this race is at 10 past the hour. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a few moments' time. Hello and welcome back to round 18 of Rony's Tuesday Fun Race 2021 in the UFR at Aston Grand Touring in Live for Speed. A moment ago, we just saw Vitasis Lagutkas take pole position ahead of Fatal Unfair for Fragmasters, but what we couldn't show you before was the current drivers' standings, and there's a lot of them, and I'm guessing that was part of the issue. But here we go then. The drivers' standings are as follows. Rick Cardle leading ahead of his teammate Unite, then it's Mandula, Yoni, Botsy, Abe, Gabor, Michael, Donny, and Twincam in the top 10. We always like to mention that, if you're on this list, then thanks for joining us for the Rony's Tuesday Fun Race series. And it's always nice to see the variation of drivers that we get every week and showing us that, anyone can turn up, anyone can get involved in this series. It's nice to see.
Absolutely, yeah. We even have our own team, as you may have already noticed, and Falca and Elmo there tied on points. That's amusing. But yeah, it keeps going and going, whether you got hundreds of points or just one. So that's great to see. I haven't been tempted to make an effort to join this list just yet, but you never know, there's still time.
Yeah, there were so many drivers on that list that we ran out of time to show them all. Apologies for that, but here we go. We are racing, and the lights are about to go green. So let's see what's going on the grid. We've got Fadas on the front row with Rick Cardle alongside him, having to settle for P2. Here come the lights. 4 lights on the board, and we are green, Owen. For the start.
Yeah, that's a good getaway using that power of the UFR. Rick Cardle tucks in for the inside line with Fadas in the lead. Owner up in the third there through Alpha, and Donny side by side there in a stream for Unite as well, trying to get the draft. Braking for turn 1. Rick Cardle has the outside, he makes it work, and there we go. A bad start for our pole sitter. If he indeed, no, he didn't take the start at all. Most unusual.
Yeah, so the Gutscast not choosing to take the start, that promoted Fadas to the front, but now Rick's managed to get straight back to where he wanted to be, so third to first essentially. A couple of places gives it to him. Got accidents in the background.
Tatlenberg.
More cars going off. But anyway, back to the front. No problems so far for the top few runners. Some winners and losers certainly. Patrick Hall's gained a couple of places. Yoni's up to P4.
Unite and Donny just in the corner of your screen there, side by side, on the run to turn 8, I believe it is. And Unite has the position heading into the right-hand sweeper, and then the run up to turn 9. Good job by Unite.
Yeah, there's a furious battle going on at the front. Fadas is still trying to get back on Rick Cardle, but he can't find a way around. Kid's gone. He's timed out of the race. That's a shame. We've had another roller somewhere along down the field, but sticking with this front battle, we've got Owner in P3. This is a great effort from him so far as he goes off onto the gravel a little bit, and that's given Yoni...
contact. Donny's been tapped around. Yaroslav Donlik made a mistake into the mini chicane, and just a tap was enough to spin Donny. And now Rick holding that lead into the most enjoyable portion of the track in Pete's estimation. 13 to 15, the long left-hander just completed now, and will be flat on the accelerator for the final portion, 16 through to 18. Yeah,
we've got two-way battles. Both of the front and second row of this race are fighting wheel to wheel. Let's stick with this lead battle for now as they head up to the hairpin. You've got to decide if you want to go for the move here or down the back straight. It looks like they're still going to go side by side into the corner. Fatal does yield that for now. Yoni's got passed into P3 there on Owner. And Fatal, he doesn't want to force Rick into an error before this chicane. He wants to stick in his slipstream and be as close as possible on the exit so that he can get him on the run down to the first corner, and it's gone horribly wrong. Fragmasters will not be happy to see their man dropping down to P4 through a tiny mistake on the entry to the final chicane. That wasn't great from Fatal.
Not at all, and a mistake there. It's Monty Macari made a mistake at the last chicane there, and a lot of positions will be lost there for the ZFRL. We're now concentrating again on Owner, trying to gain second place. That fat ass relinquished. not to be.
Rony's gone in the pit lane. That's going to be unscheduled. This is not Excel. He's got left rear shock damage. It's completely gone, so that's why he's in the pits. And this has given Rick a perfect opportunity now, thanks to Fatal dropping down, for Yoni and Ona to start catching up. There we go. Fadas was side by side with Rick Cardle for a moment there.
Yeah, this is important for the championship, the driver's point of view anyway. Fadas knows that his team are not doing as well as they feel they should. Unite wants the drivers' championship to solidify Sidus's dominance in the constructors. So there we go. Alongside nearly, but we're just able to spot them there. Fadas has the black bonnet with the blue streaks, and Unite just can't get by.
In the background,
extraordinary battle here, Pete.
Yeah, two of the Fragmasters drivers, Onifus and Number, battling with Sobis. That's Carolus Motajutis there, and it looks like those two have done a runner now, and they're fighting with each other. This is Onifus that we're watching on the inside, Number on the outside. I wonder what that QR code is on their roof, Owen. We should try that out one day. They all run it. I'm not sure what it does. It simply goes to their website. I don't know. Anyway, interesting idea. As Number has a shocker, it seems that our reign of pointing the camera at the Fragmasters team is just a bad idea, because they just seem to have issues every time we are watching them. But anyway, Number is going to be coming under pressure from Thumuli, who's had a bit of a rise, I have to say, in RTFR. Certainly coming along as a driver, getting better and better results each week. Who's that running really wide? Yaroslav.
He's all over the shop. He's taken very unorthodox racing lines, and that's being polite.
Mandula's got a run on Michael. We're hearing up to the top of the hill here. Mandula there in his universal skin, he likes to call it. He uses the same skin for every car, which means you can see there that it has wheels where there are no wheels. Very entertaining. But anyway, Michael stays ahead for now in his much more traditional and probably one of my favourite liveries in all of well, history, I suppose. The classic Mini Cooper.
Yeah, it's certainly iconic. I'll give you that.
Yoni's managed to get up to P2 and fastest lap as well. Number is side by side with Yada as they cross start finish. Brilliant seeing these little tiny cars battling wheel to wheel. Yada driving the crash test skin. Fingers crossed he doesn't have to use that into the first corner. No, Number gives him some room and tries to hang it around the outside. And that's just as we peel away, there is some contact, and he manages to hold it just.
Yeah, Ferrexter gets by there, but actually no, Donnelly, he's driving like a gazelle. I don't understand how he's able to make this work. Everywhere the track extends, he's there. It's just perplexing.
Yeah, he fancies driving on the bits of tarmac that are least popular. He's sent it up the inside. There is side-by-side contact. He's taking no prisoners today. That is something we don't often see from him. The two iron cars side by side. Donny not with a good start at all. He was P4 at one point, and now he's all the way down in P16. Firexter just ahead of him. Up at the front, Yoni is catching Owen.
Yeah, it's just breathless altogether. This is a mighty fine start in the first 10 minutes or so. This is a pressure situation for Ricardo. He knows it's almost a single file portion of the track, but if he lets up in the dip, then he'll definitely yield that race lead. So I'll have to keep an eye out on him. But now we focus on Sobis and Onifus.
Yeah, Sobis is he's pretty great in the smaller GTR cars. He likes them a lot. We know that, and yeah, he's having a lot of fun in the mid pack here. He's chasing Fragmaster's Onifus, who seems to be getting away from him slightly through the sweepers. I just love the undulation through that section, and especially in the cars with downforce, it is a lot of fun. And as they head onto the back straight, he doesn't have the slipstream that he needs to make that move. Twin Cam and Redbot side by side.
Yeah, it's a mid-pack battle here. but it means as much as anything for these guys. Redbot holding what will now become the inside line. Just needs to stay where he is right now, and it should work for the braking zone into 18. Who's blinked first? It is Redbot, but using the camber. Twin cam flat out, and that should give him 19 for that inside line. But again, is it Redbot's strategy to brake a little earlier and then get the traction out of the corner? Seemingly not. Oh, Magic has rolled it. Magic onto his side there. Can he recover it? No. That's a big mistake, I'm afraid. That was what I was worried about. Unfortunately, there's no redo. Like in qualifying, that's game over.
Yeah, we cut away. Fatal's made it past Owner for P3, so Fatal's back up onto the podium. He hasn't made this easy for himself, but he is back there, and we'll see if he can catch up to the lead too. It'll be a tall order, though. He's 2 seconds behind our leader, Rick Cardle, who himself is in a battle almost with Eoin. So who knows if Fadas can open this gap to Owner and Unite behind, we may see him closing this gap up, depending on how much the leaders begin to battle. I'm interested to see what happens here. These two seriously close on pace, Owen.
Yeah, it's one of the finest duos I've seen in RT4 in quite a while. Usually one driver reigns supreme. It just gives the initiative to whoever pulls out ahead, but not to be this time True Alpha doing everything in his power to wrest victory away from the dominant Rick Cardle.
Yeah, the nice thing about Live for Speed, the nice thing about Live for Speed in general is that online you see a huge variety of series using very different cars, and that almost forces the community almost to, be very versatile. Like Eoin 2 days ago, he won 2 races in LFS Kart Light round 2 at Kyoto North in a Formula XR, and now he's here battling for the win in a UFR 2 days later. You have to be very versatile to be successful in online racing in Live for Speed if you want to compete in more than just the occasional series. So yeah, LFS it's created some extremely fast sim races over the years, and that could be one of the reasons why. You just have to be so versatile to be successful.
Yeah, and indeed you need to have the endurance as well, like having to learn the Formula XR one weekend and then Tuesday evening you boot up the UFR. That's certainly more energy than what I could put out, but that's why I'm here in the commentary box. I love watching it.
Yeah, we're glad to have you here, Owen. It's great to have you alongside me in the commentary box again, and this is going to be a spicy battle down the home straight. I'll give you this.
Yeah, True Alpha just weighing up his option. It's not an overtaking zone until the first corner. You have to watch the tires. It seemed like they got just a little flick. That's all that moved them. But now the slipstream battle is really going to pay dividends here. 0.3 of a second better off for True Alpha that last lap. And it's 0.3 to separate them now. Oh, the horsepower just allowing Ricardo to get away. But it's a clinical effort here. Not even halfway just yet. So I think True Alpha, Yanni Catella is weighing up that overtaking possibility where he sees fit. It's not going to be now, but it's definitely coming.
Yeah, Unite's managed to get up to P4, so he's cleared Owner, who's still driving very well, down in P5 now. There's a bit of a gap back to Falcon. He's comfortably in P6 with Yanni Catilla, Mandula, Michael and Sobis behind him rounding out the top 10, but I'm really interested in this lead battle. I don't think we want to miss it.
No, this is definitely the period of the track we want to be on. Rickard's straight line speed is helping him out here, but commonly you will see overtakes as Sector 1 becomes Sector 2, or sorry, Sector 2 becomes Sector 3, beg your pardon. Again, it's just a 0.3 of a second. It's not enough for True Alpha, but if he had been side by side into turn 8, he would have been well laid out, but it's just so close between these two, we can't look away. And Falas is defending his P3 in the background there against Sidus Unite. And again, that will be crucial for the championship. Any further dents against Unite's confidence, that will certainly mean Ricardo will be the favourite for the title, even with a long way to go.
Yeah, Rick just needs these results. He just needs to be slightly further ahead than Unite in every race, and he'll be comfortably in the lead at the end of the championship. But yep, there are a lot of rounds to go in this season, one every 2 weeks until December, and only a handful though of rounds left in the XL series, which is taking place on our channel here next Tuesday. And back to tonight's action. Let's see if Unite can make this place up. We're hearing that Redbot, Race Queen's Redbot, has timed out, so that's another DNF for Jeff in there.
Yeah, it's horribly unfortunate. He's dreadfully unlucky with his connection. Unfortunately, he lives outside of Europe in India, so yeah, it's very difficult to be stable with the ping. Yeah,
one of those things you have to contend with, yeah. Yes, Rick is looking in his mirrors, but he needs to keep focusing ahead and let Yoni find his own way through. Great exit there, actually, from Rick. Slightly better than Yoni, you can see that, so there'll be no move on the home straight this lap. Falas he's sticking around the 2.5 second mark, but that gap is going up ever so slightly. He really needs the top two to start getting involved in each other's space in order to close that gap up. Don't rule this out for a big battle towards the end, as we hear Flagmaster's number has rolled it and he's just disconnected or just left the race, so they are a man down now. Just 2 Flagmaster's cars remaining, one of them in P3, the other in P11.
Yeah, it's just more frustration for number. He's got immense pace, but it's just these RTFRs. He is getting the bad luck on the scales, so I'd love to see him get a proper result someday, hopefully soon.
Yeah, he's already in the chat, Owen. He says, that was fun, with a smiley face. So at least he's enjoying himself. Well, that's it for another week. It's a Dravco. Better luck next time. Sobis and Michael having a fight with Onifus actually as well. 3 wide as we head into the second sector of the lap. This looks like a fun little battle.
Yeah, it seems like the drivers are capable of going 3 wide. Either the run down to sector 2 or the final set of corners are able to go 3 wide. In the UFRs, they're not too massive. They'll take up a little bit of space. Now Onifus has the inside on Michael. And can he sweep across? Yes, he can. That's a great move.
Yeah, Onifus back up to P9. So slight recovery drive on for him. He's inside the top 10. Michael's going to try and have a go back at him. He's going for it. Decides to back out at the last minute. But I'm pretty sure these 3 will be going wheel to wheel for a while yet. What's happening with the lead? Still hanging around. Yoni is not able to close that gap down enough just yet.
Indeed, it's just whatever setup for the straight line speed Rick Hartle has means that his cornering isn't sacrificed, but he's gaining a mile an hour better off than Truff, and that makes a big difference in the UFRs. It's just nothing that can be done, unfortunately. It's a matter of patience.
Apologies, viewers, if this livery you're looking at has cracked your TV or your monitor. It's an interesting choice of livery for Mandula. He likes it though, so well, we can't blame him. He's currently catching up to Yari Katila. Sobis and Michael still side by side in the background. Well, Sobis has managed to catch and overtake Michael now as they head into the hairpin. Can Michael get that place back on the home straight? Sobis looks like he's got some pace in that car, but he's sitting on the cusp of the top 10. He would like to keep that, as he gets that a little bit wrong. But I think he should be safe from behind.
Yeah, another fastest lap for Yoni Katila. The battle will wage on for as long as the laps are still going. On board now with Yoni. It's just whatever thinking he does, it's just not able to formulate, and he just has to keep on pushing away and see if Rick will make a mistake. They're just so close. 34.7 for Rick, 34.69 for True Alpha. It's so close in the first sector, of course.
Yeah, this is fascinating stuff, honestly. These two supremely talented at their craft. They they really need to start scrapping in order to give anyone else a chance of catching up because they're just in a different league at this point. Rick Cardle really has gone from strength to strength over the last couple of seasons. He's always been quick, but he's on another plane at the moment. He really is. As Yoni goes for the move, and he has it done for now.
Yeah, he was as close as he's ever been all race, Pete, and that finally got him side by side into that run down to turn 8, and it paid off. Using his patience and determination, he got the move done. But it's far from celebration time. It's still only lap 7, and that lead is very fragile.
Yeah, Fadas will have hoped that would have gone on for a bit longer than those two fighting, but Yoni's done a brilliant job there not to lose much time getting that job done. That means the gap to the cars behind is still around 2.5 seconds. There they are, just coming through the back of shot, but great move from Yoni, as we have come to expect.
Yeah, supreme stuff, and that move did unsettle Ricciardo's Sector 3 pace. He was about 7/10 slower. He can still make up that time. He's still close enough. As we're checking out Sidus Unite, who wants that P3 at least just to consolidate his position in the championship. He wants the least amount of damage done if he can't outdo his Sidus teammate today.
Yeah, well, in the last couple of races I've seen Unite, he's been behind Yoni by a fair way. This is probably the closest he's been in recent times. He's still got to deal with Fatal. He is catching him ever so slightly. Fatal himself is still holding this gap pretty nicely to the front runners. I wonder if Rick starts to lose a bit of time as actually Fatal gets that quite wrong, and that's made Unite's job a lot easier. And he swings past, and I don't think there's going to be a chance for Fatal to get that back, is there, Owen?
No, the speed differential is, well, it was wide, but the slipstream is very, very good here for Fadas, and he's got the inside for turn 1. He gained a huge amount of RPM, and that's...
Yeah, Unite's got that quite wrong, I think.
Yeah, that's gone wrong. That's not a deliberate choice, for sure.
Yeah, it was a bit too wide to try and do the cutback there. Sobis is having a go at Teemu Soini. Teemu Soini getting stuck in. He's been dispatched, and now it's Donny and Sobis who are battling for the place just outside the top 10. P11. Sobis holding on for now.
But yes, still means points. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, Unite had a chance there and just went a bit deep into turn 1, and that's given Fatal that place back. But these two now doing what they don't really want to be doing. They want to be they want to have the fastest of those two in front, and they need to work together to catch the top 2, and then they can duke it out amongst themselves on the final lap if they want to. Only for 3.5 laps to go.
Yeah, it's definitely flown by the middle portion of the race. Rick nearly got onto 2 wheels there out of turn 8, managed to catch it in the AstroTurf, but that means more time lost. Fadas not close enough, I don't think, but his priority is to hang on. I don't think an improvement is on his mind at all. Still a lot of work to do if he's going to defend his position, in my opinion.
Yeah, Yoni Katilla's pace is absolutely it's unstoppable. He's in such a zone at the moment. He's always been there or thereabouts, but recently he's been on an absolute other level. Rick Cardle as well, but at the moment he's stretching that gap 0.6 as mistakes start to creep in this race for Rick Cardle. We're watching this battle still between Jari Katila and Mandula, still in the order they were a few laps ago. Let's see, can Mandula get in that slipstream and get past the bright yellow rear end of that World Class Lines car? Here he comes.
This is his opportunity. He takes the outside line of 17. There's a little left kink coming up before the braking zone, but Mandula will have to brake check. Stand a chance. Now I don't think he's got it, but he will use the camber to plot another move into the final chicane. He switches to the next outside line. Jari is defending very, very astutely. not much Mandela can do except gain the slipstream onto the start-finish straight. Yeah, perfect exit out of the chicane, avoiding the tyres handily. And now this is the slipstream I was talking about. You can feel those RPMs rise. Mandela nearly hitting 9,000 RPM. Has got the Michelin bridge coming up now, and that should be the braking zone for him. But can he get it right and sweep? Yeah, I think he can. Oh, maybe the lateral grip giving up on him now. He's done it. Good job for now.
Yeah, great move there. It is difficult to plan your braking and your line through the first corner if you want to try and get the outside. It's a horrible feeling when you're the guy on the inside. You're just wondering how did he manage to do that around the outside. But anyway, good move, and it was up to P7.
Yeah, most of our drivers staying single file. Not much risk taking at the moment. We know so close to the finish. We can hang on just a little longer on this 2-minute 53 lap or thereabouts. But it is the battle for third that has the interest now. Unite nearly there, but not quite. Yeah, we're just scrolling through the top 10 there. You can see Michael Malik completes it. There it is, Union Jack Mini Cooper. And there's Aaron Dunny just hanging around outside, waiting to see if anything will happen ahead of him. The Hifmuli 13th, that's good going. And a lot of drivers would be in the wide camera shot if we had it, with Dunleek defending from twin cam. I think he's calmed down a bit, has to be said. He's got his focus back after the start.
Yeah, there's a lot fewer cars around him than there were. Yeah, I remember back to the early days of VR in LFS, actually, virtual reality, when people were getting used to that and panicking when there were tons of cars around them, myself included. It kind of looked like that, didn't it, a bit? Yada wasn't really sure what to do with all those cars.
Indeed. Yeah, I couldn't imagine VR. It seems very overwhelming to the brain, but I suppose you get used to it eventually, and it has benefits with the head movement.
We'll get Yada back on the camera as Katal tries to have a go at him.
Yeah, he's just going to hang out around, similar to what Mandula did on Yari, the outside line. It's definitely executable in the UFR, but he has to use this camber effectively now. That's a shutting of the door against twin cam, and I don't know if he'll be able to slipstream back. Now this is it. This is the third place battle on the line. Solid Unite has the move done for now, but Badass can counterattack at this range. But now it seems to be Unite has performed the overtake properly this time. No drifting wide there, and if he can pull out a superb 4 minutes, he could give Ricardo a little bit of a food for thought.
We've lost
Fadas
Owner. We've lost Owner from this race as Fadas goes into the wall, Owen. So Owner was running really well there. He was running in P5, I believe, and he's lost out. Fadas runs wide again, actually. So this looks like he's on the ropes now. He's struggling really to get back in, and again putting on the anchors into the second hairpin, losing yet more time. So that's the podium gone potentially for him. Yada still side by side between Cam, and there's contact. Almost further contact as Katal got on the grass at the apex. Yada really has chosen the right skin for this race.
Yeah, he sends out the message. I'm going to be taking hits and dents in my car, so watch out. Pardon?
Look at the number plate.
Oh, let me see. Oh yeah. Yes. Yeah, that's appropriate, I suppose.
Apps, Yada, really.
Yeah.
Anyway, enough of that. Yoni Katilla, 1.2 seconds now, the gap between Rick Cardle. And that gap just seems to be going up and up and up. Mind you, Unite, now that he's cleared Fatal, he is gaining. I don't know if there's enough laps left. We've got this and one more to go. 2.1 seconds now behind his teammate Rick. This is good for his championship, but he really needs to start being ahead of Rick at the end if he wants any chance of winning it overall. Fatal, if he can keep this is a good result for him. One of his better results in RTFR of recent times. Sometimes getting unlucky, especially. I think that seems to be a theme of the Fragmasters team recently. Just generally being a little bit unlucky at the moment. Let's see what they can manage. Patrick Hall, again, another really solid drive for him so far. But can he hold on against his flying teammate Mandula?
Yeah, that's the question there, Mandula. I'm sure he's probably fed up of us saying it, but he is one of the drivers in form at the moment. Consistently good results. Patrick Hall maybe a little less up with his momentum. He's certainly got the skills. Now going to cross over to a battle here. Lorenzo has a chance to gain on McElroy. That is the rundown to 17 at the moment before the concluding sequence. Similar enough story here with the outside line for the driver on the offensive, but McElroy shuts the door, similar to what we're saying, but he actually let Lorenzo have a dive bomb. The curve of the outside line may have spared Lorenzo's blushes there. Oh yeah, that was a huge hit and hope there from Lorenzo, but he hasn't lost anything too much yet. But the lead battle, the gap has come down, has it, Pete?
Yeah, ever so slightly, and I want to say that this is going to be one of the closest finishes in RTFR that we've seen in a long time. There's only 3 seconds separating the top 3. United's had a pretty solid end to this race, and yeah, absolutely brilliant stuff from these guys. I do wonder though, if United had just got his qualifying a bit better, where would he have been at the end? Because this has been some comeback for him through the field to P3. Now, only a handful of seconds off the lead. It's gone a bit wrong for Fatal today. Could have had a podium, but yeah, that mistake just cost him.
Yeah, it just takes a single moment of discomfort, lack of focus, or the car letting you down. Yeah, that's the difference, I'm afraid, between podium and the best of the rest. If we're going to talk about the best, yeah, go ahead.
Absolutely putting on a show once again in RTFR. The sponsors of the series, of course, a very healthy prize pool that's been put forward for this and the XL series, which you can catch on our channel next Tuesday at the same time. But 1 corner and a chicane to go for this man, World Class Lions Eoin Catilla, running the alias True Alpha. And well, if he wasn't in first place, that wouldn't quite ring home, but he is, and that's all that matters. Let's see him complete this race. Unite currently with the fastest lap, it has to be said. Unite's had some really good pace, as I mentioned before, at the end of this race. Just wondering where that was in qualifying, really.
Yeah, it's a mystery. He'll have to tell us, and I'm sure he would if he was asked the question. But yeah, let's carry on to the finish here. Just got to get through the final set. Yeah, that's spot on. And without further ado, go ahead.
Yeah, that is that. Eoin Catilla will come across the start-finish line. 11 laps of Aston Grand Touring to win in, well, pretty brilliant style there, followed by Rick Cardle and Sidus Unite. Those two will still lead the championship, but it is Fatal who comes home for Fragmasters, just off the podium, P4, 7.7 seconds off the lead. Then it's the race green duo of Falcon and Mandula crossing the line there. World Class Lions, Eoin Catilla, Fragmasters, Onifus, Master Race Cars, Michael Malik, and Iron Donny rounds out the top 10. Sobis for Last Lap Motorsport P11, Thamuli P12, Teemu Soini P13, Yada after an eventful race in P14, Twin Cam P15. Then we've got a few seconds before we get our next flurry of cars. It is Hachiroku coming to the line to finish in P16, 48 seconds adrift of the lead. This is a close finish here. That is one of the ZFRL cars. That's Monty McCarry and Lorenzo coming across in P17 and 18. Next in P19, it's Tallenberg for Master Race Car. But yes, Eoin Catilla has already found his way to victory lane. which I think is just after. Yes, it is just after the first chicane on the Aston Cadet home straight. There he is, parked up already. Ivanov has finished P20. Then we've got BR Igor and Ludwig in P22. Not sure who else we're waiting for at this stage. Other cars crossing the line. In P23, it's D-Bol Racer for ZFRL. Then we've got in P24, Pit Lane Racer. And P25 is Rony.
Yeah, the Mr. Machine got those meddling kids to put him in the penalty box, I'm afraid.
We're still waiting for LG Miso. This is a long lap, isn't it? Like you only get the idea of how long the lap is when we're waiting for cars to finish at the end. There we go. LG Mies crossing the line in P26. And as we cut back to Yoni, we've got about half a minute before we get the full complement of drivers finishing this race. As the podium celebrations begin, that's Unite there having a bit of fun with Yoni. And I wonder actually whether we will get a word with Yoni. He sometimes joins us after these races to give us a bit of an insight. But it wasn't a traditional start for him really. He started quite a way down the order. Here comes our final car, slowly but surely up to the line. I'd like to give everybody the airtime at the end if we can. A bit of a flurry, or actually a crash into the wall. That's one way to finish the race.
Yeah.
Well, there we have it, Owen. It took a while.
Yeah, we got there, yeah.
We got there in the end. It is Yoni Katila for World Class Lines, finishing in 31 minutes 52, ahead of Rick Cardle, Unite, who took the fastest lap with the 2:52.4. That's stunning, that pace. Honestly, that's quite a lap to put in the race. Then it was Fatal, who finished one step off the podium in fourth. Falcon and Mandula P5 and 6. Yari Katila, Onifus, Michael and Ian Donny rounding out the top 10. Sobis, Thamuli Soini, Yaroslav Donalik, Twincam, Hachiroku, Moti Makari, Lorenzo, Tallenberg and Ivanov rounding out the top 20. Then over to our second page results. We've got some drivers who didn't finish on this list as well. It is Igor, Ludwig, D-Bol Racer, Pit Lane Racer, Rony, LG Mies and Oliver, our finishers. And then drivers who didn't manage to finish. Owner, so unfortunate for him. He had a really nice qualifying, a really nice start, but something happened at the end of the race, not quite sure what. Disconnect possibly. P28. Then it's Kid in P29, Number with that roll in P30. Then Redbot, Firexter, Pedro BR, Magic also rolling, and Jamin in P35. Owen, that was a pretty fun race, and I'm sure the drivers will have some stories after that one.
Yeah, you bet. We've seen the most recent races, I think, in this month. It was about one driver only, winning by 10 seconds or more. But today, 3 drivers within 3 seconds. That is stupendous. And True Alpha battled from second place for half the race, and then he found his moment to strike, and just like that, he was away and got the win. So that is what we love to see, battles for the win, and it means that the championship battle will carry on for a long time yet.
Absolutely, and if you want to see how it transpires or how it continues, then you can join us in 2 weeks' time at a custom configuration at Autocross. It's an interesting track. It's kind of an oval with an extra corner in it. So join us for that in 2 weeks' time on September 14th for the 263rd running of RTFR, round 19 of the 2021 season, with the XRGT coverage starting here just before 6 o'clock UTC. All right, Owen, I think that's just about all we have time for this evening. But once again, thanks for joining me in the commentary box. It was a blast. And thanks to all of you for listening and tuning into our channel once again. We hope you enjoyed it. And we hope you continue to enjoy Live for Speed in the coming week. And we'll see you next time. Have a good one. Good night.
So long, everybody.